And I hope you are enjoying this beautiful, beautiful fall weather. If you're watching this later and it's not fall, I hope that you get to enjoy a fall like this sometime because it has been gorgeous. This is installment three of my romp through homeowners insurance. And for installment three, I want to take a look at coverage C, which covers personal property. So part one, I took a look at coverage A, which is the dwelling itself coverage, and then I looked in part two at coverage B, which is any other structures not attached to the home. And then part three, coverage C, is personal property. And the best image that I've ever learned about this is if God picks up a house, turns it upside down, shakes super hard, anything that falls on the ground, that's going to be classified as personal property. Often, when talking with people, they are a little confused, understandably so, when they think, well, I'll share with them what the recommended coverage is for their home, and they will say, well, I don't think that's enough to cover my house and all of my belongings. And so then I'll explain to them the belongings part of that is gets picked up in coverage C. So you have, if there's a catastrophic total loss situation like a fire or tornado, you have a combination of coverage A, coverage B if you have outbuildings, and personal property. You'd have access to all of that um, to make you whole again. Every company has a percentage of dwelling A that that company uses to derive coverage C. State law says it can't be any less than 50%. Most companies I've seen are 70, 75, or 80%. I've yet to see anybody who didn't feel like that was enough, but your situation is unique, and you always want to make sure that number is something that you're comfortable with. Like other structures, you can never go lower than what the minimum default is. You can definitely go over that. Couple other things that I would mention about the personal property coverage. In every home policy I've ever seen, there are caps put on personal property in a catastrophic loss situation that are considered high end or special. Classic examples are cash money, gold coins, or metal coins, or doubloons, or bullion. There's always going to be a cap on that kind of thing. Jewelry, there'll be a cap on that kind of thing. Theft of firearms, there's often a cap on that. Silverware, there's a cap on that. So it's not that you can't get coverage for those items that go over those caps, but when you get into that situation, you usually want to schedule those separately on the policy. So those caps are designed to insulate the insurance company, frankly, a bit from people who say, in the case of a fire, say, oh my gosh, I had $1 million under my mattress. And the company's going to say, we're so sorry, here's your $500 or $1,000 or whatever the cap is in that policy. So pay some attention to that. The other thing that I would mention is that some insurance companies will settle a claim on the personal property part differently than the way they settle a claim on the house structure itself. And frequently, and not it's not uncommon for that personal property to be settled at what's called actual cash value in certain companies. That's a very, very popular thing to do. And what that means is that unlike a replacement cost policy where old is replaced with brand new, old is going to be evaluated based on its age, and then the company will offer people a check for that depreciated amount. So my company doesn't do that, but I know I've seen many policies that do. So that's another area of fine print that you want to pay attention to in the personal property arena. So that is my romp through coverage C. As always, if you have questions about your specific situation, please reach out to me or give me a call, 248-464-5219. Always happy to help. Stay safe.